I'm going to take a shot on this one.
I'm going to say beer.
I'm buying everybody around on this. Oh my god.
All right, welcome to the All Things Rangers Bar Talk, where we gauge our confidence on NHL topics by our choice of drink. And once again, I am Mark Williams. I am joined by Mr. John Falkowski. He is right up there with me. And down on the bottom, Mr. Anthony Larocco. And we're going to be starting with Anthony on the first one. Semyon Varlamov will steal as many games in this series as Andrei Vasilevskiy.
I'm gonna go shot. I know Varlamov has played a lot better. Thankfully, he's gotten a little bit back to form. But Vasilevskiy's the best goalie in the world. You've seen some of the saves he's made already this series. And in Game 1, he robbed Pageau, and then he went around the net, passed it to Palmieri. He made a fantastic save on Palmieri. Last night, he made a nice glove save on Palmieri that looked like it was ticketed for the net. And he's just, he's all world. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the skill. This is the guy that where if the Islanders shut down Tampa Bay, he can still win the game by shutting down their offense. So no credit, no discredit for Varlamov. He's still a very good goalie, and like I said, he's found his game. But Vasilevskiy is more capable of stealing games. Let's just hope for the Islanders' sake it doesn't come down to that. But he is capable of it.
This is tough because I think if the Islanders want to shut down Tampa, it's not just going to come down to the forwards versus the defense and those types of matchup. Varlamov's got to be at the top of his game. He cannot afford to be off his game the slightest bit. So I think if the Islanders are going to win, Varlamov is going to have to steal games. I'm going to say beer because I don't know if it'll necessarily happen. I can't say shot, though, because I think that Varlamov's going to need to be that difference maker for them to win the series. So I'm gonna say beer here.
I'm going to go beer, too, because Varlamov has shown that he could actually make some great saves. The one on Kucherov last night. Ridiculous. Oh, my goodness.
Ridiculous.
That was ridiculous. The only reason why obviously I'm favoring Vasilevskiy because he's the reigning Vezina Trophy winner, and again, that save, he made several saves. The one on Palmieri you just mentioned, he made a couple saves when they were up 2-1 that were really critical. So, like that partial break. No, I went to the Game 1 for a second. That partial break that Beuvillier had, but yeah, the Beuvillier save in Game 2. Yeah, that was right there.
He made another ridiculous save right before Palmieri's when he robbed Palmieri. I mean, within maybe about a 2-minute span that we're just like, are you kidding me?
Which, by the way, if you were listening to the Tampa Bay radio feed, like most of us were on NHL Sirius XM, you could just hear, and then the shot comes over, and, leaving it up to 79-year-old Phil Esposito to explain everything to 30 seconds later. That's not a good call. Just announce the game, okay? You don't have to make a spectacle out of it.
What's with the hostility, Phil?
All right, moving on to the next one. This is a holdover from last week, but suggested by Mr. Larocco. Once again, JG Pageau is showing that he's a Conn Smythe Trophy candidate. Anthony, we're going to start with you on this one.
I know Beuvillier has been good, but if the Islanders go to the Stanley Cup Finals, depending on obviously, of course, what happens the rest of this series, but if they advance, I gotta buy everyone around on this. I think Pageau, like I said, he's putting up the points, and he's getting a tough matchup. He's one of those guys that, he's not very big, but he has a lot of fight in him. He doesn't lose many puck battles. He gets the tough matchups. He's scoring goals. Without Pageau this series, I think the Islanders would be in trouble if he weren't able to play. He's that important to the team. So I think, again, not a lot could change. For instance, Barzal could completely go off, carry the Islanders to the finals, and all of a sudden, he could be the guy. But right now, I think Pageau's been their best player along with probably Pelech this whole playoffs. But I think Pageau is crucial to their success, and you saw it for the 15 minutes he was out of the game last night with the Islanders. I mean, they have great center depth, thankfully, because even with Zajac, they still have formidable four centers, but they missed him, and you saw how important he is.
Oh, Phil, the question also reminds me once again to say this. Fuck you, JG Pageau. Once again, the 2017 playoffs, that's all. And I say that, again, with all admiration. Right back to you. And hatred.
Scotch. Scotch. Can I buy rounds of scotch?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll just buy rounds of scotch here. Because
Scotch.
But, I mean, yeah, you got to buy everybody around on this. He's been good. He's been excellent. I know people can't stand his guts because of the fact that he knocked us out in 2017, but knocked our boys out, I should say, in 2017. But he's been good. He's been really good. He's been the shutdown center they needed. You could see why they gave up what they gave up to get him at last year's deadline, and he's been worth the acquisition. So I would say, because the question says candidate. It doesn't say winner. I don't necessarily think he would be a Conn Smythe winner. I think that it probably would go to a goaltender, but I definitely think that he deserves a shit ton of recognition for the way that he's played throughout these playoffs.
I'm also going to refer to my shirt. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. But also, by the way, say it's dangerous to play a game without Pageau. You know what? I gotta agree with you guys. Buy everybody around on this. Pageau has probably been, I think, the best Islander. The reason why it's not going to be a goaltender if the Islanders make the Stanley Cup Finals and win or lose is because the goaltenders split the first two rounds. So I don't see it being one of them. I mean,
that's
with
a real point.
12 wins for the finals, it would have to be a great finals. Anyway, but with Pageau, he's gotten all the tough matchups, and Anthony's kind of turning my head on this and just making me go, can you find a guy that is not more of a Lou Lamoriello player than JG Pageau? Like, he's got a little bit of an attitude. He plays defense well. He scores opportune goals. I mean, he might as well be John Madden while we're at it. So,
oh my God, get out of my head! Get out of my fucking head! I was just gonna fucking say that. Better version of John Madden. He's a little more physical, but he's a better version of John Madden offensively.
Yeah, and I think he's probably a better version of Bobby Holik as well while we're at it. So
I wouldn't. Well,
well, he doesn't have that bomb for the shot. Moving on, the Rangers are going to have a surprise breakout player next season. Mr. Fokowski, this goes to you.
I don't know about surprise because I think Alexis, Lafreniere, and Kakko are both going to break out next year. I think they're gonna be guys that are just going to take that next step. Kakko looked like he was going to this year, but there was a certain now gone head coach that refused to let them do anything other than shoot or pass on 2-on-1s. Thanks, Ryan Spooner, for that little tidbit because we knew that, but we needed someone to reaffirm that. So I'm gonna say beer only because I'm really gonna be a stickler about the word surprise. I think maybe Keandre Miller might take that next step as well. I don't want to get too optimistic. I think that Gallant's going to get the best out of the roster that he can. And I really think there's going to be a few guys that are going to take that next step. But I don't know about a surprise necessarily. So I'm going to say beer.
Okay. Anthony?
I'm going to say beer too because my first thing that came to my head was, Kakko or Lafreniere, and both those guys were high picks, so they're expected to eventually flourish, and I think it would be one of them. So, John mentioned Miller, those other guys on that roster, Kravtsov, but if I had to pick, those would be the two. So I'm going to say beer, and I hope for Kakko's sake he does, because if Kakko doesn't put up good offensive numbers again, after 3 years. I know a lot of people in New York are gonna, get on him really bad. So, he's the one that really needs it to be him personally. But yeah, I'm gonna go beer there.
I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to agree with that because the pressure is going to start being on him. But I think this kid is for real. He's going to break out. You know what? This was my question. I'm still going to go with. I'm going to buy everybody around on this one because that's what Gallant does. He gets the most out of his players. There's a guy that's on this roster. We're not even thinking of. I wouldn't be surprised if he got 20 goals out of Brett Howden. That's how good of a coach he is. Now, by the way. You
take that back, you sacrilegious son of a bitch. Don't you dare say that.
But
you know that you have to play 20 damn minutes a game for that to happen, and you're going to make your head explode.
But again, this is Brett. I mean, that's how good of a coach that Gerard Gallant is. He got William Karlsson, who was a castaway, to be there. Vitaly Kravtsov is there as a guy that we're talking about. And just to mention in on that, does he go under the surprise? I don't think so. That's what Filk got me to change around my opinion on.
He's surprised.
Yeah, he would because he's still a top 10 pick. This next...
No,
sorry, he was 11. Right?
No, I'm just saying only because of the fact that Kravtsov only played a certain amount of games this past season. So I don't know if there's anybody that's expecting him to really take off this upcoming year. So I would agree with you, Goldberg. I think if Kravtsov breaks out, if he's not traded for Eichel, that would go a long way to this team's success.
And again, that's the reason why I keep on saying you got to move Pavel Buchnevich to get him playing time. And that's how you also manage a cap. You get guys that are making less to be more productive players. You can't just keep paying everybody because then you end up with cap crunches. Anthony already knows this, but this is the special for. Oh wait, we got one more comment.
Oh, I forgot about this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Howden. Oh my God, that's great.
With me, he wants to just mess with my head. He wants me to go off the rocker, off the edge, drive me over. Oh yeah, you're gonna make the Macho Man a minute.
Oh yeah. Here's the one that's tailor-made for me and Filk, Anthony, and you're gonna get to answer this first. It will take longer than a month for Marc or Filk to question a decision made by Gerard Gallant.
It'll take. I'm gonna say shot. I think he's gonna do something that you're gonna vehemently disagree with, even though how much you love him. You're gonna question it. I mean, it's bound to happen. I mean, even Trotz every now and then I question what he's doing, and he's great. So I'm gonna say it's not gonna take longer than a month for that to happen. It's gonna happen. It'll happen before that.
Do you really have to stack the deck against me with this one? That's the fucking purpose of all this? Is to just stack the deck? Insurmountable odds against me? You should be playing Phil Collins against all odds right now. Because that's what it'd be like. Take a look at me now. Yeah. That is... Yeah, there's just an empty space because you know that I'm going to do it. But the thing is, yeah, you don't you ever mention that name again. No more, you Jessamine. No more.
He is our he who will not be named.
Yeah, that's a bad name. We don't speak of that name. It causes a lot of bad juju around here.
We do not speak his name.
But yeah, this just you know what? All coaches do it. All coaches also have that one guy that for some reason they love, and nobody gets the affair. It happens in all sports. It does. It's just a matter. It's human nature. But I to me personally, I would give Gallant a longer leash than a guy like Quinn, who repeatedly just did not give someone like Kakko the minutes, even though the analytics and the eye test told you that he deserved more of a leash. So I you know what? I'm gonna say beer here because I'm willing to give Gallant the benefit of the doubt. I wasn't willing with Quinn because Quinn didn't give me a reason to give him a benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to say beer.
I'm going to go and buy everybody around on this only because of this. I'm going to use 2 examples. One, just like what Anthony says, in Trotz we trust whenever he does that. But the one I'm going to go with, and I'll use this little personal example. I had a crush on the girl that ended up being my high school girlfriend for like 3 years. And that girl couldn't do any wrong for at least a year with me. So it was, I was always that smitten with her. So, and she was a fantastic girl too. Jen Traxler, there you go. But it's just, I'm going to say it's going to take longer than a month because I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's the only way to do it. And yeah, there we go. And again, it's that he's gotten results. You can't get around that. And I don't even know. Did Quinn have an NCAA championship?
No, he went to the championship game and lost. And he had Jack Eichel. He had one of the best players in the history of the NCAA on his team. And in an NCAA, you can win with one guy like that, being that good. Johnny Gaudreau in Boston College won like that, even though they had a really good team.
They had a real good line. They had a real good top line.
You can win with one guy being that damn good. So I don't get it. I really don't.
So again, we're going to give him a much longer leash. And I'll start this one that's coming up to one of my favorite topics, Mr. Carey Price, who made an outstanding glove save and winked during game 1 and just went, and it was a la Patrick Waugh. It was all over ESPN and NHL Network. It was beautiful. It is not equal in any way. I'm buying everybody around on this. Are you kidding me? Patrick Waugh did it in the Stanley Cup Finals to let the LA Kings know you are not going to score on me. And I believe it was in overtime of Game 3, where both games went to overtime. And he even said that he went into the locker room and said, "Boys, I'm not going to let another one in, and don't worry about that. You guys just go out and go get the winner." Well, Patrick did just that because that's how good Patrick is. No offense, Carey Price. You're probably a really nice guy, and I would love to meet you someday. But stop with the Carey Price, Patrick Waugh stuff. There's 2 things between that and when he made a save in the Montreal Forum. The Montreal Forum. But the Bell Center mocked him, and he raised his arms like this, like, hey, I can't believe I made the save. Just like Patrick Waugh did back in 1995. Well, if you also remember, he was traded right after that game, too. So it's not even close on the same thing. Anthony, take it away before my head explodes.
I'll go round 2. I mean, because when Price made that save, Montreal was already down a goal or 2, correct? It wasn't...
Yeah.
When he made that save the other night? Yeah, so, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a great save, and Carey Price has a lot of swagger, but, I mean, I think that was, it's not like Montreal was winning, 1-0, and he was just getting peppered, making save after save, holding them in. So, yeah, I'm going to say round, not particularly close on that one.
And I believe Filk is doing the Patrick Waugh right now.
What? I could not hear you. My Stanley Cup rings were plugged into my ears. Yeah, no, we're buying everybody around on this, and I don't ever want to see that comparison ever again because I did it to a team that had the last 40-point playoff scorer on it, and he was obviously the only guy that's ever done it in multiple postseasons. He also owns the record for the most points in a postseason and the most points in the postseason for his career. So yeah, he did it to stop Wayne Gretzky resurging his career at one of the most pivotal times in Gretzky's career. So yeah, no. And I don't ever want to hear that again. So, also, just as a side note, if you haven't seen it, watch Steve Dangle's Dangits on the Patrick Waugh game against the Red Wings in which he got shelled for 9 because, oh, man, that's a good one. That is a real good one. And the mock chant, yeah, when they mock chanted him. Yeah, so watch that.
And again, by the way, Steve Dangle's awesome. I love his trade trees, which are even better than that.
Lindros one, the Gretzky one that's
Gretzky one, yeah.
Active, by the way. That ended this season, towards the end of the season. Amazing.
So, to a hot button issue that was actually being discussed on NHL radio. We're going to discuss it right here because we're plagiarists. And it's possible for a Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup in today's NHL. Filk, I got to start with you.
Well, I'm going to say beer because it's technically possible, especially right now, considering that Montreal, as you list on the ticker below, is still playing for the Cup. They're in the Final Four. This is the first time they've gotten this far since 2014. When they lost to you-know-who. We were kind of there for those games. Hi. But, yeah, I mean, it's possible. Vancouver, if they add the right pieces in the future, could be a real pain in the ass to deal with. Calgary looks like they're on the way out. It looks like there's going to be a culture change and a big change coming soon to Calgary. I don't think Johnny Gaudreau is going to be there either. I think Sean Monahan may be dealt. So I think Calgary is probably going to go the other direction. Ottawa is on the way up, and they're going to be a real handful for a long time. Toronto, I don't know. You want to say they're in purgatory? I don't know, because they don't seem like they know how to build a team properly. They have the right pieces in place, but they need to add in certain areas, and they just don't know what to do. Edmonton, I don't know if they'll ever get to that because they just don't know how to build around Draisaitl and McDavid. I mean, I guess if the idea is to hope that those two can basically win you a Stanley Cup, then good luck with that. And then, I mean, you have obviously Montreal. I think things are going to change for them. I think Danault's gone after this season, so I don't know if I see one anytime soon, but maybe within the next 10 to 15 years, you might have a team like Ottawa or Vancouver in there that are real legitimate threats for it. So I'm saying beer.
Anthony, it's been too long since we heard you.
I mean, I gotta go round because sure, it's possible for a Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup. I just don't think any of them are particularly close right now. Toronto seems to collapse every year. Ottawa still has, some ways to go, but they're on the right track. Winnipeg, I mean, Winnipeg is a good team. I don't think they're as bad as the team that Montreal swept. I think they're a lot better than that. I just think a lot went wrong for them there. But they got pieces in place. They got one of the best goalies. They got some good offense with Scheifele, Wheeler, Ehlers. So they got the scoring power. Vancouver is an intriguing one to me. Obviously Pettersson's great, Besser's good, Horvat's good. Their defense and goaltending, if Demko can turn out to be the real deal. I know Holtby's getting older, so he's not really the answer in goal there long term. But they got a bright future. And then Montreal, they're in the Final Four right now. So there's the problem with the Canadian teams. I think it seems like lately there are a lot of players that seem like they don't want to play in Canada unless you're from there. I mean, a lot of players, if you go through a lot of recent players have been traded. You go through their no trade list and stuff. It's always every Canadian team's on there. So it's and that part's tough too because obviously you need to win a cup. You need the right players to build a team, and it seems like there are a lot of players around the league that prefer to play in the States. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage, but.
Actually, we just lost Anthony for a minute. We should get him back in a second.
But
on
what he was saying there, the taxes in Canada are not great, and I think that's a big part of the problem too. I think not only the weather, I think players want to be somewhere where they can go, they can live and not together. But I think the taxes up there are bad. But
totally got just disconnected. But that was weird. But yeah, basically to wrap it up, it's possible. None of the teams are particularly close right now, in my opinion. So, Toronto, you would say is the closest, but they can't get over the hump. It seems like whatever they do, they just fail. So they need a culture change there. But it's possible, but I don't see it happening in the next 5 years or so.
I'm gonna go beer as well because you can't go shot with this. If you go shot with this, then it's gonna be, then that's also it's almost like illusion if you say that they can't win a game and they can't win a Stanley Cup. It's difficult. It's very difficult because of everything you guys just outlined. The tax situations. Usually players don't want to go back to Canadian cities unless they're from there. Some of them like the anonymity of being in. Take for instance like Steven Stamkos in Florida. He can go out and go play a round of golf right now, and he's been in Florida 12 years and a champion. And people would be like, "Oh, look, hey, there's Steve." In Toronto, that same situation came up with John Tavares. They'd be on him on the subway, going, "You missed that breakaway last night." So it's just like immediately stuff like that would happen. And don't get me wrong, that's just the way fan bases are, because New York still certainly has that with baseball or basketball, and football. Geez, if nothing's harder than being a Dallas Cowboy quarterback, I would say, because you're getting second guessed everywhere by everyone. I mean, it's a difficult situation. Also, when you got players that just don't want to go back, and you're going to have to, it's going to be somebody that's going to have to do well with the draft, make the right trades. And I mean, because free agents will still sign there. I mean, Louis Eriksson signed up there. We talked about the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leaf Stars, I don't think it's any accident. The Maple Leaf Stars, actually Mitch Marner now. But before that, it was Austin Matthews and Phil Kessel and James Van Riemsdyk, and let me know when I get to a Canadian. So, and before that was Matt Sundin. So it's foreigners that don't understand what it's like to be a Maple Leaf. I think Wayne Gretzky said it once. One of the three traditions was two traditions in Toronto: church on Sunday and the Maple Leafs on Saturday. So I think it's still possible. They just most of them gotta act like small market teams, even though they're big market teams, like the Canadians. They'll spend money on anybody. You know what? We'll save the last one for the honest press conferences. So we want to know your thoughts. I know we were a little bit all over the place right there, but what do you think about? Is there going to be a surprise breakout player under Gerard Gallant? Is Carey Price's wink? Hey, look what I got when I was down by 2 goals. And JG Pageau, about as important to the Islanders. Put it all in the comments down below, and you can even comment right now. Give us a like, share, and subscribe as well. Did you like that video? Of course you did. So why not check out some more of our content? You can check the playlist right here or right here.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.